Good to go. All right. Well, good morning. February 11, 2022 Veterans Land Board meeting will now come to order. Pursuant to section 31.015 of the Texas Natural Resources Code, I'm chairing the meeting in the commissioner's absence as chief clerk of the General Land Office, as the commissioner is away on state business. Should the commissioner return prior to the conclusion of this meeting, I will relinquish the chair to him. February 11, 2022 meeting of the Veterans Land Board is being held in person at 1700 North Congress Avenue, Stephen F. Austin Building, and by video conference call is authorized under Texas Government Code Section 551.125. Access to the meeting by members of the public was published in advance in the Texas Register in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Any member of the public who wishes to address the Veterans Land Board should indicate so at the start of the meeting or during any public comment period. That out of the way, the first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the October 28, 2021 meeting.
Move approval.
I'll second.
Motion is made and seconded and carries unanimously to approve the minutes. Next item on the agenda is item number 2.
Good morning, Mr. Havens, Chairman, members of the board. For the record, my name is Raul Gonzalez. On item 2, staff is recommending that the loan limit for the Veterans Housing Assistance Program be increased from its current maximum of $548,250 to $647,200, beginning with rate locks issued on or after February the 12th, 2022. As shown in the table provided, the loan limits in the VHAB have increased several times over the year, from its original amount of $20,000 to $548,250. The Federal Housing Finance Agency increased their conforming loan limits to $647,200 effective January 1st, 2022. VA home limits, where they don't necessarily have a cap, have adopted the same as the Federal Housing Finance Agency per their website. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the board? Mr. Scott?
I just have one. Given the concurrency of the dollar amount for the VA loans and for our loans, what is the advantage to the veteran to utilize our loans rather than VA?
In some cases, it's going to be a lower interest rate, especially for veterans that have a disability, that we do offer that additional discount.
Excellent. Good to know. Thank you very much.
Any other questions from the board? Hearing none, I will accept a motion to approve item number 2.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made, seconded, and carries unanimously to approve item number 2. Next item on the agenda is number 3.
Staff is requesting the board take action on the resolution before you. The resolution lists accounts to be considered for order of sale. These 3 accounts will become the tracts for the next forfeited land sale. We're requesting the board's authority to pull any account that fully reinstates prior to the date. For note, prior to the COVID pandemic, these 3 accounts were already approved for order for sale during said dates. We're just bringing them, representing them back to the board because it's been about 2 years since they were approved at that time. With that, I'll answer any questions.
I just have 2 quick questions also. When we have a sale of these loans, I mean, would you refresh my recollection whether we sell them for the unpaid balance of the principal or is a new auction?
We try and obtain the sale of the principal balance, but it is a new auction at that point. Yes, sir.
All right. So theoretically, somebody could get some pretty good deals if they wanted to buy the land for the balance of the principal, even though if there aren't a lot of bidders, then this would be a good opportunity for them.
All right. Yes, sir.
Very good. That's what I wondered. Thank you very much.
And one question, since this was already approved, have we had any contact with any of these contract holders in the interim period?
Yes, sir. We've continued to contact them. We haven't had much success, but we do continue to work with them, and we will continue to try and reach some kind of agreement with them prior to that sale date.
I guess I'm always particularly concerned when somebody has, paid off over 50% of the original loan amount and for whatever reason is walking away. Again, to Scott's point, the principal balance, the land's probably worth more than that. So it's surprising that they would do that. I just want to make sure that, a veteran's not put in a bad situation and that they have the complete information and we're not just walking away from them.
Absolutely. No, we'll definitely make a stronger effort to reach out to the veterans and to see if there's anything that we can work out to ensure that they're given an opportunity.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Right. Is there a motion to approve item number 3?
Moody? Your turn. Oh, I move approval.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second.
Second, motion is made, seconded, and carries unanimously to approve item number 3. Next item on the agenda is number 4.
Okay. Staff's requesting the board set the next quarterly electronic forfeited land sale bidding period to begin March 7th, 2022 at 8 a.m. with a bidding deadline of April 25th, 2022 at 5 p.m.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion is made, seconded, and carries unanimously to approve item number 4. Next item is number 5.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. For the record, my name is Heather De La Garza, Special Counsel for Veterans Affairs. This is a non-action item just to provide everyone with notice that we did enter into a contract for the loan origination services procurement back in December 28, 2021. The vendor chosen was Meridian Link Inc. and the value of the contract is valued at around 1.587 million. Negotiations were lengthy, but we were finally able to come to terms right before the end of the year. So we're very excited about this endeavor, and I'm happy to answer any questions. And Mr. Gonzalez can also answer any questions about the transition over to a new vendor from our current vendor. Yes,
That's right. I have just 2 rather simple questions probably, but I was unsure. Given the amount of time that's passed, I assume that the contract that we have provides for regularly updated software. So if this amount of time has passed, we're getting the current version and they continue to update it regularly.
Yes. So we currently have with our current vendor, we're still under contract. And so they are always constantly responsible for maintaining the system. And so loans are still being processed through our current vendor. And so we will probably be extending that contract as well too, so that for the transition, so that there will be no disruption in service. So that will also be occurring. But yes, they are supposed to be keeping up to date with software and whatnot and maintenance.
That answers my question. Thank you so much, Heather. Appreciate it.
Any other questions from the board? And Heather, correct, that is a non-action item.
That is correct.
All right, thank you for informational purposes only. So moving on, next item on the agenda is number 6.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members. For the record, my name is John Berkeley, Deputy Director for the Texas State Veteran Homes. This agenda item is for board information only and requires no action. The General Land Office and the Veterans Land Board executed a management and operations contract for the management and operations of the Usry Rowan Texas State Veteran Home in Amarillo, Texas, with ML Cares LLC. The Texas State Veteran Home successfully completed the request for proposal for the management and operations of Usry Rowan Texas State Veterans Home. 4 bids were received, and based on the evaluation team analysis, ML Cares LLC was chosen as the next contracted operator for the Texas State Veteran Home. The contract was fully executed on December 30th, 2021. The transition is underway with all departments participating in the transition, and this includes operations, clinical, financial management, information security, ETS construction, and others as required. The goal is to have the transition completed by the end of February 28th, 2022. This is a board information only and requires no action by the board. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. And ML Cares, this is the first home they'll be operating for VLB. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Any other questions from the board on this item number 6?
No.
No.
Okay. Thank you. That is a non-action item. Therefore, next item on the agenda is number 7.
Yes, once again, for the record, my name is Heather De La Garza, Special Counsel, Veterans Affairs. Staff is asking today for the board to take consideration of possible action to extend GLO contract number 163190009882. That is the management and operations agreement with Texas VSI LLC to manage and operate the Clyde W. Cosper Texas State Veterans Home in Bonham, Texas. We did go out for solicitation and we did receive responses. However, the evaluation committee, when reviewing the responses and reviewing the procurement, determined that certain technical aspects should have been included as far as the status of the home, census, etc. And so the decision was made that we should go ahead and re-procure so that we can get the best proposals out there from a variety of respondents. And so thus, as a result, we did cancel the original procurement and are planning on reposting that procurement. Because of the dollar value, we had to wait 2 months. The expected reposting date is sometime next week, following February 16, 2021. But however, as a result, we do need to maintain operations at the Bonham home. And so we are asking the board to approve extending the current contract for the remaining 6 months all the way to the end of the fiscal year, which would terminate the contract at August 31st, 2022. And I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have.
So to be clear, this is just to extend the existing contract while we complete the procurement process.
That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
I have a short one. Given some of the discussions we've had before about being able to procure operators, do we think 6 months should be sufficient?
We think so. We already have the procurement ready to go. It just needs to be posted and we hope to have a short evaluation period in accordance with procurement law, but we should be able to complete it timely.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and that was kind of similar question. I just wanted to make sure that we were extending for a period of time that we felt confident we could make this turnaround in, right? And if we needed more time, then obviously we could just ask for that. But if you guys are confident that that's the right period of time, then
I think
okay.
so. I think that we should be able to do so. We were able to turn, we've been able to turn to the extent if we would need to, for example, transition, we should be able to turn it around.
Okay, thanks, Heather.
In light of that, Mr. Chair, I move approval.
Second.
All right, motion is made, seconded, and carries unanimously to approve item number 7. Items numbers 8 through 11 will be in executive session. The Veterans Land Board will enter into closed session pursuant to Chapter 551, Subchapter D of the Texas Government Code, Section 551.071, for consultation with its attorneys regarding matters involving attorney-client privileged information and the legal issues associated with items number 8 through 11. Excuse me. Following the closed session, the board will reconvene in open session to complete the docket. Good morning. The open session of the February 11, 2022 meeting of the Veterans Land Board will now resume with items numbers 8 through 11. First item up is number 8.
Good morning, for the record, Heather De La Garza, Special Counsel, Veterans Affairs. Can everyone hear me? Yes. Okay, great. The next agenda item is consideration and possible action on a contract for the management and operation of the Ambrosio Gain Texas State Veterans Home in El Paso, Texas, and extension of current GLO contract 18263-000A913 with Texas VSI LLC for same. Staff is recommending that the board award the contract to the highest scoring respondent and allow staff to begin negotiations with the highest scoring respondent, and also allow staff to extend the current contract with the current incumbent operator while those negotiations are taking place. And the extension would be for up to 3 months. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the board?
Hey, I'm sorry. Grant, could you please turn your camera and microphone back on? The open meetings law requires that to be on during the open session. you're able to turn that back on, please. Thank you, sir.
My apologies. I had to relocate for a second here.
No problem.
I'm sorry. I'm back.
Not a problem. Is there any questions from the board on number 8? If not, I will entertain a motion.
This is Judge Scott. I have no questions. My questions were satisfied in the earlier session. I move that we authorize staff to enter into contract negotiations with the highest scoring respondent, and then to also extend the current contract to allow a period of negotiation, and then, if successful, to enter into a contract.
I'll second.
Motion made, seconded, and carries unanimously. Gonna have Judd make all the motions from now on. That was very well stated.
Excellent.
That's after hearing it 6 times and figuring it out.
Make a lawyer's heart happy.
Right.
Next item on the agenda is item number 9.
All right, once again, for the record, Heather De La Garza, Special Counsel, Veterans Affairs. Agenda number 9 is a voting item. We're asking the board to consider and take possible action on a contract for the management and operation of the Watkins Logan Texas State Veterans Home in Tyler, Texas, and extend the current GLO contract 16-318-000-981 with Texas VSI LLC for same. Staff is recommending that the board go ahead and allow us to award a contract and begin negotiations with the highest scoring respondent, and to execute a contract with the highest scoring respondent if negotiations are successful. And we are also asking for the board to approve extending the current contract with the incumbent operator while those negotiations are taking place. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the board?
No, I have no questions, and what I did have were answered in the executive session. So I move that that we authorize staff to enter into contract negotiations with the highest scoring respondent, and to also extend the current contract as necessary to allow for a period of negotiations, and then, if those negotiations are successful, to enter into a contract.
Motion is made. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, motion is made, seconded, and carries unanimously to approve item number 9. Next item on the agenda is number 10.
Once again, Heather De La Garza, Special Counsel, Veterans Affairs, for the record. Agenda item number 10 is a voting item. Consideration and possible action to either renew the management and operations agreement with Care Inns Texas Ltd, GLO contract 20-050-000-B826, to manage and operate the Frank M. Tejada Texas State Veterans Home in Floresville, Texas, or to re-procure these management and operation services. Staff is recommending that the board re-procure and go out for bid to re-procure the management operation services for the Floresville home. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the board?
No, I have none.
So I believe the staff recommendation before us on item number 10 is to go out for a procurement. I will take a motion to approve.
Mr. Chair, I'll move that we re-procure the management and operational services for the Floresville home.
Second.
Motion is made, seconded, and carries unanimously to approve item number 10. Final item on the agenda is number 11.
And once again, last but not least, Heather De La Garza, Special Counsel, Veterans Affairs. Our final agenda item is consideration and possible action to either renew the management and operations agreement with Care Inns of Texas Temple Ltd to manage and operate the William R. Courtney Texas State Veterans Home in Temple, Texas, or to re-procure these management and operations services. Staff is recommending to the board that we be given approval to go ahead and enter into renewal negotiations for a 3-year term with Care Inns of Texas Temple Ltd. If successful, those negotiations, we would enter into a new contract beginning September 1st, 2022 and ending August 31st, 2025. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the board?
No questions.
believe the motion before us is to approve the renewal of the existing contract with the operator. I'll take a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll move that we renew the management and operations services for the Temple home with Care Ends for an additional 3-year term, subject to new contract negotiations that are acceptable.
Seconded.
Motion is made, seconded, and carries unanimously to approve item number 11. And I just wanted to say thank you to Ms. De La Garza and John Berkeley for all their work on this. I know there are a lot of moving parts. These veteran homes mean the world to us, and we want to provide the highest level of care. And I just want to thank the board members as well for all of their involvement in making sure we stay on top of all of these. So I do appreciate everything that goes into these. There being no more business before the board, the Veterans Land Board meeting is hereby adjourned.
Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.